Alright, in today's tutorial I'm going to go over, we're going to review the concept of masking while also introducing adjustment layers. And what we're going to, today's assignment, we're going to, you're going to create an item that has selective coloring, and you're going to use the adjustment layers and mask out part of it to create an effect that looks something similar to that. And even you can even change the color of the fish or whatever your object is as well by using the adjustment layer too. So let's go ahead and get started. This is the original image, and what I wanted to show you today is the adjustment layer. The adjustment layer is down at your layer palette. If you click right here, you can see a variety of different adjustment layers, and I'm going to go to black and white, and it's going to shift to black and white. And I have these in front of the picture just so that you can see it. So it's inside the window. When you click on the adjustment layer, you have the different options. You have the options of changing the black and white to your specific liking, right? Which is kind of cool. So you can change the colors or change the hues to affect the black and white as you see fit. And then what you're going to do is look at your layer palette, and you can see that it created an adjustment layer which looks like this, right? And it's non-destructive editing, and it's not making any permanent edits, but you can see the before and after by clicking on and off the eye. If I make this, so this is the black and white adjustment layer right here. If I click on the mask right here, I can select, let's see, I'm going to go and I'm going to use my selection tool, and I'm going to just select this fish right here. So I'm going to real quickly select the fish like so, and then remember I can hold down Alt, and you can use any selection tool you want. It's up to you. So I'm going to select my subject that I want in color, and if I go over, I can hold down Alt. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click, and I'm going to refine edge. And remember, we've gone over refine an edge, and you can make the adjustments as you see fit. Okay? And once you hit OK, what you're going to do is you're going to use the paintbrush. And remember, when you select the paintbrush and you're on your mask, that when you want to burn through, you want to use black. If you want to cover up, you want white. So I'm going to go to my paintbrush. It's on black, and I'll make the paintbrush a little bit bigger, and then I can just wave over it and color it in to add my selective color. So now everything's black and white except for this fish right here. Okay, and now I'm going to hit deselect, Command D. And if I zoom in, I can see that I didn't do a great job of selecting the fish, right? But that's okay, because you're still on the mask, and you can click on the paintbrush, and you still have black selected, and maybe make this a little bit smaller. And I could just hover over the areas that I missed, okay, to color that in. And let's say right here, oh, I went too far. I can switch my paintbrush to white, and that'll cover up the mask. I'm not making any destructive edits right here. Right here, I didn't do a good job. I missed a spot, so I'm going to select black, and I'm going to cover that up like so. Right? And I could probably spend a lot more time making sure I get it just the way I want it. But that's an adjustment layer right here. And there's a lot of different adjustment layers that you can play around with. You can see like the invert. Actually, let's click right here, and if you click the brightness and contrast, you can adjust the brightness and contrast of your image. There's, take a minute when you're doing this assignment to play around to see what the different adjustment layers you have, and each adjustment layer creates a layer automatically. So if I didn't want this posterized right here, I can click on my adjustment layer right here and select it and paint through it so that this particular fish is not posterized. Okay, masking is very, very useful. We're going to be using it a lot, right? And so I'm going to paint over this, and do something like that. So, and you know, mind you, I'm doing this really quickly. So now I have everything posterized except for that fish, and the fish is in color. If you want to change the color of the fish, you can click right here and go to Hue and Saturation and add another adjustment layer, and you can change the hue of it. You're like, well, I don't want it to be orange, I want it to be yellow. Okay, well now you have a yellow fish. And obviously you don't want to clean up those edges as well. And in line with the non-destructive editing, right, we haven't made any destructive edit on the original image. If I click down here and turn off the eyes, right, this is still the original image. And then the last thing, let's see, the last thing is, let's say you're working on this and you're like, you know what, I decided to change that. I really don't want that yellow fish anymore. You can click back on your layer palette and click on whatever adjustment layer. And actually, let me close that out. You can double click on that and it'll open up this slider box, so you'll be able to adjust it back or adjust it to a different setting that you want. So, you know, tomorrow when you open up the file, you can always double click on these adjustments to get it to, you know, to change the intensity of each adjustment layer, not just the first time you make that adjustment, but in the future as well. Okay, so go ahead and give that a shot.